Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? I'm happy for you guys. Today is a big money day. I hit you up because I hope you've been following the stock market. I hope we're not living with our heads under a rock because the money is out there. The money's big. Give me a yes in the chat if you are seeing what's been going on with the Dow today. I'm gonna pull some of this stuff up because I think this is worth exploring and to some extent celebrating, for what it's worth, because I'm happy for you. I want you to have money in your pocket. And I know that the last couple of days have just been brutal, or the last few days, really, more than a couple of days. And so I'm going to kind of give you my assessment in terms of everything that's happening. If you could do me a favor, give me a quick sound check. Also, let me know if you can hear me okay. Let me know if my audio is good. And also, I want to apologize for this morning's class. I don't know why the stream online just started acting weird. But either way, we're gonna rock it out every day and make it happen and keep drilling in this stuff. Now, if you want to get on the text list for the morning class, make sure you text the word morning to the number 87948. Text morning to 87948. And okay, so here's what happened in today's stock market explosion. I mean, that's the only thing you can really call it. Today, the Dow just went insane. The S&P, everything, the market went berserk. And the big driving factor behind this insane movement and this massive amount of money that's I'm sure showering your bank accounts if you've been following and investing consistently is basically like what I mentioned to you all earlier this week. It's all about whatever Trump talks about, whatever he says, whatever he decides to do. I'm sure that that's feeding the hell out of his ego because this man's got an ego, and basically he announced that he's thinking about doing this little pause of 90 days on these tariffs, and I don't even know if he even mentioned what countries these pauses apply to or anything like that. I just know that he basically said that he's going to do this, this pause thing, and everyone got excited about that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the screen because I want to read through some of the stuff and actually show you guys some charts that I believe are reflective of what's happening. Now, I know a lot of you have an interest in stocks like NVIDIA. Let me see if I can pull up NVIDIA so you can kind of see what's been happening there with that stock. It's over 100 again, and and then it dropped quite a lot. And let's see here, last 5 days, NVIDIA is finally it's only slightly negative now, but you see today it went up by 5.7%, but the last month about 3.5%. So NVIDIA's gone positive this month, which is really profound. It's dropped 20% for the year though, so it's been kind of a tough year if you're a holder of NVIDIA. While at the same time though, this is still great though. I mean, you're making a lot of your money back. A lot of you, I've never told you all to be dip buyers. I've never said that, but I've always told you that I'm a dip buyer. And I'm a dip buyer because historically the stock market has usually, actually I'm not going to say usually, it always recovers. Eventually, if you give it enough time, it comes back. But this reminds me of COVID a little bit, where that reversal came along really much faster than I expected. But here's the thing I want to warn you about right now, just to make sure you're 100% crystal clear on this. Please, 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 please do not get too attached to what you're seeing right now. Remember, you're dealing with a president that can change his mind in a matter of minutes. This 2,400 point increase in the Dow could reverse itself by the end of lunch, not even by dinner time. By the end, like you start lunch and you're happy, you're eating extra caviar because you know that you made all this money, and by the end of lunch, not only is all the money gone, but you've gone even more negative than you were before. I'm talking about positive 2,400 to negative 2,400. The volatility is absolutely insane. It is practically unprecedented. I mean, it's not completely unprecedented. I'll give you some historical context, but this level of volatility is kind of crazy. It is absolutely ridiculous. And I would say it looks like Gary Hatcher bought NVIDIA on the dip. Good for you, man. Good for you. Yeah, I bought a lot of dips. I mean, I was investing very aggressively. So this is a good day. When my wife comes home, she'll probably give me an extra kiss because you know how y'all ladies are. Y'all's men get a whole lot sexier when he got a little extra money in his pocket. So our house is on swag. Our swag is on 10. I'm feeling good. I hope the fellas are feeling good too, and the ladies, you're feeling good as well about the money you're making. So congratulations on being intelligent Black people. Let's see. Tree says, appreciate you've been rocking with you since 2018. Thanks. You're welcome. You're welcome. 7 years. That's a long time. Wow. God bless you. Thank you for that, for saying that. All right. So hit the thumbs up button. Thumbs up, share, subscribe. And so let's talk about what what this 2,400 point Dow increase means. And I'm going to keep checking to see what, if anything changes while we're talking. Number one is it's one of the largest single point gains in the Dow in history. Actually, the biggest was actually on March 21st of 2020, and that was 2,112 points. Now, here's the thing. I think it's the top three of all time in terms of total movement. Now, in terms of percentage movement, it might not be top three anymore, but I'm looking at it right now just to sort of see where we are now. It looks like we're up by 2,600 points or 2,553. And that's just, I mean, that's just massive. And it's crazy that all this happened just because one guy said one thing, right? It's that one guy said one thing and all this changes. I mean, this is just insane. So it says here that stocks surged Wednesday after President Donald Trump announced a pause in some of the reciprocal tariffs, causing a market that's been under extreme pressure for the last week to explode higher. The S&P 500 skyrocketed 7.8% on pace for its biggest one-day gain in 5 years. The Dow advanced 2,382 points, or 6.3% higher. Since its biggest gain since 2020, the NASDAQ jumped 10%. He says this, listen, here's what the president says. He says, quote, I have authorized a 90-day pause and a substantially lowered reciprocal tariff during this period of 10%, also effective immediately. That is, I'm surprised but not surprised. I'm surprised but not surprised. Those of you that have been hanging out and coming in here every day when we're talking about this, you'll know I'm surprised but not surprised. I am surprised it came this quickly. I'm surprised it came today. But I told you all that a lot of times the biggest positive movements in the market have a habit of taking place right after the most negative move. This is just because the market is the drama queen. The market loves to overreact. I wrote a whole dissertation, a doctoral dissertation about this. And my chairman, Andrew Caroli, was a guy from Canada who I'm sure is pissed at Trump for the Canadian tariffs. He was a very nice man, one of the nicest white people I ever met. You know how you meet a white person who treats black people with respect, like I mean, really, really like you're a human being, and then you're like, okay, you must be from another country. And he was from Canada, but he was a wonderful man, and I just have so much respect for this man. He was just a good human being. And anyway, my dissertation had to be tight to get past him. He went to University of Chicago, which is like, they're like the Chicago Bulls of finance. Like you come out of Chicago, you're pretty much beast mode. So anyway, with that said though, the reality is that this was gonna probably happen, and Trump is a guy who has billions invested in the same market that you're invested in. He has billions and billions and billions of dollars invested in this very same market. So when your wealth goes down, his wealth is going down. And if you know anything about this man, you know he ain't gonna let his money leak out for too long, right? And so he's seeing this market. He pretends like he doesn't see it. I know you see it, man. Stop that. You've been looking at this stuff for years. But he does have a bone to pick with China. There is a fight that needs to be had with China. Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan Chase made a very good point where he said that China does a lot of stuff in terms of undermining intellectual property rights and making it hard to do business there, currency manipulation, non-tariff trade barriers that need to be confronted 100%. Kevin O'Leary, actually, from I think he's the Shark Tank guy, he actually said that there should be 400% tariffs on China, which I thought was kind of dramatic, but he said he made some good points. So it's not to say that this tariff policy is out of whack. The problem is that it's been just kind of ghetto in terms of how Trump has been doing it. He's been very sloppy with it. He hasn't been very structured with it. He hasn't been nuanced with it. He's been just coming in with a sledgehammer, which has created just unbelievable amounts of market volatility, which does create some degree of opportunity for you. And I remember I said, just hold steady. I'm not telling you what to do. I don't give investing advice, but I told you what I was doing. I said, I'm just going to stay cool. Now, if you want to know what I'm doing right now, here's what I'm doing right now. What I'm doing right now is I'm preparing for the next thing. I don't know what the next thing is going to be, but I truly believe based on what I've seen over the years. I try to observe these people as objectively as I can. I don't really I'm not interested in the emotionality of Democrat Republican politics. It's just a bunch of false hope, and they're not solving no real problems. If they were really solving problems in the black community, the communities wouldn't be trash like they are now. We'd be better off. Our wealth would be going up. So I'm sorry, I just can't get with you on whining about what Democrats or Republicans are doing. It doesn't matter to me. It matters, but that's not something I can control. What I'm observing is I believe that this too shall pass, and it could pass in the blink of an eye. Right now, you've got the sunshine is out, the sun is out, and when the sun is out, I go in and I prepare for the rain. So I'm already thinking ahead to the next horrible thing he's going to say or do that's going to rock the stock market and cause everything to crash again. I'm prepared for that. So what I did was I went in, I sold some stuff. I also sold some call options. I bought some put options. I did everything that you do to prepare for a bear market. There's a multitude of tools you can use to benefit when this crash eventually happens again. Now, if it doesn't happen, then great. That's fine. I'm positioned on the upside. But I went in and I said there's a put that I wanted. I wanted to get a put on Meta, and it was super expensive. Meta puts are very expensive. And I said, let me just wait until there's a good day, until they make some announcement and the market goes way up, and then I'm going to go buy that put. So I literally went back and bought that put, and it was 20% cheaper. So I just went to the grocery store and everything was 20% off. That's when I bought the put. And so, a long story short, my point is to say that it's really a matter of kind of understanding what you're rocking with. You're dealing with a market that is just chaotic. It's and it's not and if you want to know if I agree with Trump's approach on these tariffs, I do not. I do not agree with it. I think that he's making a huge mistake. I think he's ruining America's reputation around the world. I don't care if you're a Trump supporter and you love him. And I agree. What I see, here's the thing: I have mixed feelings because I think American workers got screwed by all these free trade agreements. I think that we should have some protectionism in the economy. I think that we should support those industries and those individuals that are not invested in the stock market 100%. But this ain't the way to do it. This ain't the way to do it. This ain't the way to do it. It's really going to make it hard for American companies to do business around the world. Big corporations are already saying that they're losing business deals in other countries because people don't want to deal with the Americans anymore. So this is a mistake. It's going to ruin his legacy, most likely. If he sticks to this plan, it will ruin his legacy. He'll go down in history as one of the worst presidents in American history. I don't think that's what he wants. So my hope is that he, at some point, has somebody he listens to that helps him understand this is not a good idea. Now, Treasury Secretary, do me a favor, if you could, please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. I want to read a little bit more about what's going on today with this massive, massive jump in the market. Also, I sent you all a link earlier with some other stuff going on in the Black Business School. Number one, we believe in educating children. And so we have a lot of these really great financial workbooks for kids. They cover things like stock market investing and all kinds of other topics. And we're actually developing some stuff on stock options for kids and real estate and crypto, stuff like that. So if you want to go take a look at that, feel free to go to financialworkbooks.com. That's financialworkbooks.com, and you can take a look at our workbook bundles. All right, so here, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent later clarified that all countries except China would go back to the 10% baseline tariff rate as negotiations take place. The pause would not apply to sector tariffs, Bessent said. Stocks that are heavily pressured by the trade war tensions led the comeback Wednesday afternoon. Apple and Nvidia soared more than 10%, 11%, and 13% respectively. Walmart shares rallied 9.7%. Now, you'll remember the other day in coin class, in our stock options class, we did an example with Walmart. And we were going through an example where you could actually set up something like a poor man's covered call and for a reasonable capital base, generate $5,000-$6,000 a month in income off of that stock. Don't think that to generate cash flow, you have to go buy real estate and all that. That can be hard and time consuming. You can do the same thing with stock. And so if you have an interest in stock options, feel free to go to drboycecoin.com. We'll do another coin cohort in about 8 weeks. So feel free to go to drboycecoin.com if you're interested in that kind of thing. All right. So Walmart, given how depressed stock prices and sentiment have become, the 90-day pause is sparking a violent rebound, and delaying implementation certainly removes a giant overhang from the market, said Adam Crisafulli. But tariffs are not going away. China's tariff rate is now in triple-digit territory, and who knows what happens in 90 days when the pause concludes. So what they're saying is that this is just a pause. This is not something that says they're walking away from the chaos. They're just sort of taking a break, right? It's like you're in a war and they just take a little holiday and agree to not shoot each other for a day or two. And the market is reacting, I think, in a way that is a bit more dramatic than it needs to. But a lot of it is due to market mechanics. There are lots of people who are short sellers who are doing short sales, who are trying to cover those short sales. So they call that a short squeeze. And what that does is, in order to close a short sale after you sold the stock, a short sale is when you sell first and you buy back later. So basically, you have the short sale, and then you find that you're losing money, and some of them are losing billions of dollars. So they go back and they shut the position down. They go ahead and buy back the stock that they sold before it gets too bad. So the short squeezes are probably driving the price trend as well. As I'm looking here, I keep checking just to see how much has changed since I started talking, because this thing changes so fast. I got hit hard the other day because we were in class, and literally I was talking about the market surging upward by 600-700 points, and in the time that I was literally explaining what happened, it had gone negative by 600 points. I couldn't believe it. I just said, "What the hell's going on? I'm in the twilight zone. This is nuts." So anyway, let's keep going here. Let's see. Okay, so Terrence is asking, do any of the workbooks go along with Black Business School courses? Yeah, all the workbooks are part of the Black Millionaires of Tomorrow series. So we're the same way you mass produce Ford trucks, the same way you mass produce Teslas. We're mass producing Black millionaires in the Black Business School. We're mass producing young people. We've had probably 10, 20, 30,000 kids go through our programs that are going to be millionaires in the future. It's very easy to prepare a child to be a millionaire. Very easy, but maybe it's easy for me because I have a PhD in this stuff. So the workbooks, we have flashcards. We also have a digital program called Black Millionaires of Tomorrow, which covers all of the fundamental tools of wealth building. We don't teach your child how to fill out a job application. That's something that we figured they're going to learn on their own. We show them how to buy property, how to invest in the stock market. We talk about how to start businesses, how to buy crypto, things like that, things that are going to build wealth for them. So if you go to blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com, you can take a look. Feel free to do that. All right. So with that said, it says here, what else does it say? Let me keep reading this article. I'm reading on CNBC. And it says, quote, "This allows for at least a near-term rally, but I would not assume that the bottom has been put in place," adds Adam Stovall, chief investment strategist at CFRA Research. "Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 5 times, shame on me." Yes. Damn, I agreed with what he just said. What he said is right on point. That's completely consistent with my investing philosophy. Do you know what I'm going to do when we get out off of this live stream? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go straight to my portfolio and I'm going to start offloading some stuff and building up a cash reserve. I'm going to start stacking cash, which is what I did. I already did that in my Robinhood. I'm going to do that over in my other accounts as well. Why am I going to stack cash? Why am I going to stack cash? Because I don't believe you. I don't believe Donald Trump is a stable guy. I don't believe that he's going to do stable things. I just don't believe you. I believe that you're bestowing your presidential blessings on the country and letting the market skyrocket and getting us high on this money. But I don't trust you, man. You're crazy. You're a narcissist. And I didn't even vote for or against Trump. I'm not a Trump supporter or Trump anti. I think he's smarter than people think. But I also think he's playing with you. I think that he's going to come back out with something else that's going to rattle the markets very, very soon. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's okay. I'm prepared for that. I have my assets invested, but I'm keeping cash to the side because if that market crashes again, I'm going to be ready to scoop up those cheap stocks. So I'm moving while the getting's good. I'm watching the market closely because right now you have a market that is jittery, that is reacting on rumors, expectations, nothing real. Nothing's really happening here right now. I mean, or whatever's really happening beneath the surface, you can't even see it because a lot of the numbers haven't been released. You know, you don't have accurate jobs numbers yet. You don't have accurate inflation numbers yet because these are all backward-looking indicators. Backward-looking indicators, what does that mean? A backward-looking indicator means that they give you the data and they tell you what has already happened, but it's happening now, and they won't tell you what happened now until a month from now, until a few weeks from now. Do you get what I'm saying? Give me a yes if you're following what I'm saying. So all of the damage that's been done And this is why it's important. You listen to people like the Jamie Dimons who say, "Yeah, I've been having conversations with CEOs, and this is what they're saying." Or you listen to other analysts who are like, "Yeah, most of the business people we talk to are waiting and seeing. They're not making a move." What they're giving you what they call soft data. They're saying, it ain't looking good from where we're standing." So that soft data won't become hard until the backward looking indicators do the data analysis. And then they'll come out in May and say, well, back in April, we found out that the economy was being screwed like a Diddy party. And now the numbers are really bad and companies are losing money and their guidance is off. And they're scared to even tell you what money they're going to make because they don't know what Trump is going to do next. So there's more uncertainty, which is a negative on stock prices. And then you start seeing the market collapse even further. I do not have confidence in this market right now. I do not have confidence in this. I had confidence before the election. So anybody who wants to come out and say, "Ha ha, you should have voted for Kamala," I'm sorry, I voted for Cornel West, and I voted for him because I like him. He's a very nice man. He's a friend of mine, and I respect him. I vote for who I respect. I don't vote. I don't believe in the Democrat or Republican Party. You're not going to change me on that. However, if you want me to just give you my assessment of what's happening, I would encourage you to be extremely careful with your money. Protect your neck, as they say with Wu-Tang Clan. Protect your neck, because if you don't, they're going to chop it off. So put options are one way to protect your neck. There's a lot of other things you can do. Take some money off the table, maybe. I'm not telling you to sell things. I'm not giving you investing advice. I'm just telling you the tools are out there. And there's some other things you can do, different kinds of spreads and stuff like that. Like I sold a put spread on Meta not long ago, and that made some money too. Because puts, but when you sell puts, you're pretty much expecting the price to go up. So when everything shot up, I just closed my put spread. I said, I don't know, maybe this thing is going to keep making money, maybe not. It's okay. I'm going to take what I have. Now, in case you want to know, right now the market is still going up. It's gone up to the Dow is up 2,700 now. The S&P's up 421 points, which is 8.4%, which is a massive move. The Nasdaq is on fire, 1,635 points, or 10.71%. So today is a massive, massive day if you are an investor. And I see somebody in my house. Who is that? Hey, what's up, Coco? That's one of our kids. She's going to be the Tuskegee grad one day. We're very proud of her, but I don't want to embarrass her, so I'm gonna pretend like I don't see her. Anyway, how you doing, Cokes? All right. So anyway, and in case y'all want to know, she actually is the one. When y'all order my books, she's the one that ships out all the books. So in case you already been placed an order, just know we had you guys supported so much that we literally ran out of stock because there were thousands of orders that came in. So the team's been like really patient with me because if I were them, I'd probably be mad at me. And so she's the one who actually ships out the books. So don't think that Black kids are not valuable and precious. They're very precious and valuable. And I encourage you, train your kids and work with them and let them work in the business. They can make some money. You make some money. Everybody's happy and you get a chance to get to know each other. So thank you, Coco, for all the work that you've done. I just want to publicly thank you. All right. So anyway, with that being said, let me keep reading here. So you see that Trump has made some announcements today that moved the stock market in a good direction. A lot of you are feeling the high from making money. I think that that's amazing. One interesting thing about the tariffs is they're now kind of analyzing like the implementation of the tariffs. And they said here, and there's an article in CNBC that basically says that the tariffs are going to lead to abandoned freight at ports because they're going to be cash-strapped businesses that are just going to reject the orders. They can't pay the tariff, I guess. So it says here, President Trump's new country-specific tariffs on top of existing trade levies will raise the cost of imports for U.S. businesses by an exponential amount. Though in an announcement during the day Wednesday, Trump said some countries, including China, would receive a 90-day reprieve. Rick Muscat, president of a family-owned shoe retailer, Deer Stags, which imports its goods from China and sells in major retailers, says his company is looking at tariffs on current freight orders rising from $60,000 to as high as $1 million. Holy cow, that's insane. That's nuts. By the way, Cole, these books are signed. Yeah, you can have these, and I'll sign some more. All right, so so those y'all that order books, just know that she's working on that right now, and then I'm gonna have to go actually because all I've been doing is signing books constantly. So with that said, let me give you some quick thoughts in terms of places that I think you may want to consider in terms of strategy and what moves you might want to make. Right now, one of the things that's interesting is I think the VIX. I'm curious to see if the VIX is down. The VIX is the fear gauge, and I'm wondering how investors are feeling right now in terms of fear. Also, one of the things you should know about this market or about the stock market in general is that bear markets, even though bear markets are scary and the temptation is to abandon the building and to get out. I don't know why my camera does this. Sometimes it just goes out for no reason, and so if that happens, I'm still here via audio. That's something we got to fix. But anyway, even though bear markets can lead to a decline overall, you still have to be really cautious about what you do next, because if you do the wrong thing, what'll happen is you'll miss the bull market that tends to come when the bears hit. So typically what happens, the craziest thing about the market is that if you look at the history of the stock market, typically the days with the biggest gains are during the time period where the markets had the biggest collapse, right? So ultimately, you really don't want to, typically historically based on the history of the market, you don't want to run away during a time like this. It's tough. I know it's scary, but literally, if you run away, then think about it. If you were not involved right now, if you were not invested right now, then you missed everything that happened today, right? So it's almost like love, right? If you're scared to fall in love, then you never, if you're scared to lose love, then you'll never get to experience love. And love is pretty amazing. So now you're getting a little bit of financial love. Now I'm gonna head on out, guys, because I don't know why my camera goes out like that. I gotta talk to my team and find out why they buying me bootleg stuff at the swap meet. But anyway, I'm kidding. They take good care of me. All right, so I'm gonna let you guys go. Have a great day, everybody. And also, if you want to go through a training I put together on how to pick the right stock for your portfolio, feel free to go to thedrboycemethod.com. That's thedrboycemethod.com. And also, if you want to join us for Money in the Morning class, where we do economic elevation every single morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, text the word morning to 87948 on your phone. Text morning to 87948. So have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye. Talk to you soon.